Hi, Rupert. Thank you for this weekend.
Not at all. Nice to see you.
Thank you. I love to say the phrase, praise God. I say that all the time. And I say a prayer that I have that says, Dear God, dear divine consciousness, I surrender my um, inner dialogue to you. Submerge me in you as you. And then I say, praise God. And I think of praise God as, okay, I'm praising God. So I was out walking this morning in the mist and the rain, and I asked for clarification in that. And it became very clear to me that I'm also included in that. I am. I'm also included in praise God. And I thought, that's great. I clearly get that. And then the surrender, who am I surrendering to? So I feel like there's a leap of faith that I need to take that says, okay, I know I'm not the full consciousness. I'm like a spark from the sun of consciousness. I'm just a piece like everybody else is. But at the same time, I don't know what it is that's stopping me from taking that leap of faith. It might have been burned at the stake too many times. I don't know,
Claire.
but I'm afraid to go whole hog
Okay.
and think
Okay.
I
All
am
right.
consciousness.
All right.
But
Claire, can I replace, or can I at least suggest you replace your image of not being the sun, but only being a spark of the sun? Can I give you another image of yourself? So
yes,
you have the sun, that's the infinite, God's infinite being, and you consider yourself not the sun, but a spark of the sun. That's the finite mind, the separate self. So this sun plus the spark it is your relationship to the divine. But I want to give you a new image for you to ponder. I want to upgrade your image.
I want it.
All right. Think of I'm referring to the physical space of the universe. This is an analogy. Just think of the physical space of the universe. Yeah?
Yes,
And now think of the physical space in your room, the room in which you and your companion are sitting.
yes,
Now, the physical space in your room seems to be bounded by the four walls of the room. So we seem to have two spaces here. One, the vast universal space, which is infinite. And two, the limited physical space, or what appears to be the limited physical space that is bounded by the four walls of your room. Yeah? Now,
yes.
in your imagination, take a sample of the vast physical space of the universe. Yeah? Put it in a jam jar.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, take a second sample of the apparently limited physical space in your room. Put it in a jam jar. Yeah.
Got it.
Now, analyze these two spaces. What's the difference between them?
Well, the difference is that one is limited and one is unlimited. Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking what's the difference between them. You've
Limited
got
and un.
you've gone outside with a jam jar.
Yes.
You've put
I
a
have.
lid on the jam jar. You've now got a sample of the vast, unlimited physical space of the universe.
Yes.
Now you take another jam jar in your sitting room, you put a lid on it, and you label it apparently limited physical space. You've got these two samples.
Yes.
You send them off to the lab.
Yes.
They're not labeled. Yeah.
Right.
What's the
Yes.
difference between them? What in the space? What's the difference?
Could I say that there's no difference?
Yes, exactly.
But I can't believe that. One seems
Well, you
limited.
don't have to believe it. It's your experience. To put your hand out, Claire. Touch the physical space in your room. Yeah?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
imagine, you don't have to do it, but after this conversation, go outside, touch the physical space outside.
Yes.
Imagine you're doing it now. Are they two separate spaces?
No, definitely not.
How many spaces are there in the universe? Is there one for every building?
No,
One for every drawer? One for every box?
there's just one.
How many beings are there in the universe, in reality?
In reality, we're all one.
No, there's no.
Millions and millions of beings, but
No, that's like saying there are millions and millions of spaces. There are no limited physical spaces in the universe.
no, but beings.
I'm using the analogy first of all.
Okay.
There are no, we've already discovered that the apparently limited physical space of your room is not really a separate space. It's the one vast, unlimited physical space of the universe. Now, the being that you seem to be, the apparently limited being that you seem to be, it is the one infinite being, the only being there is. That there are not numerous beings, just like there are not numerous spaces. There's only one physical space. There's only one infinite being. So you are not a spark. That's why I want to upgrade your analogy of the sun and the spark. That's like saying there is the infinite and there is the finite. No, there's no room in the infinite for the finite. There's no room in the vast physical space of the universe for lots of little spaces. There's just the one space. There's just the one being. And you are that. But without being you, there is no separate you. The only being in you is God's being, just as the only space in your sitting room is the one vast physical space of the universe. To believe that you are a spark of God's infinite being, that is blasphemy, Claire. It is to suggest that there is God's being plus another little being.
Oh, I get that.
That's blasphemy. Because
get that, but I
if
didn't
there
think
is
that was-
God's being plus your being, let alone another 8 billion beings, then God cannot be very infinite.
So I'm a ray.
You are the only being in you is God's being, infinite being, the only being there is.
But God is so vast. Like
So are
God
you.
creates the seasons.
So are you, so vast.
Yeah.
The space in your room is the vast space of the universe, seemingly enclosed within the four walls of your room, but not really so. Let me ask you a question, Claire. One day, the room in which you are both sitting will be demolished, yeah?
Yes.
What will happen to the space?
It will be always there.
Well, will the space suddenly reunite with the space outside?
No.
No, it was never separate from it to begin with. When your building was put up, how long ago was your building built?
200 years ago.
When your building was put up 200 years ago, what was there before the building? Just the vast space of the universe.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to that vast space when the building was put up? Did its nature change?
No, it never did.
Did the space in your room suddenly become cut off from the space outside? Did it suddenly become an individual space? No. It always remains the one space. When you were born, did God's being suddenly become a finite being? When you die, will your being suddenly be liberated and unite with God's being? No.
So, Rupert, I understand what you're saying, and I know I'm going to have to meditate on this. It's just taking that leap of faith that I will not be burned again if I just say, I am God. You are God.
Claire, don't worry. You won't be burned again for saying
Well,
that.
you know what I
You
mean.
won't. If
You
you
know what I mean.
if you start writing about it and speaking about it too much,
Yeah.
the worst it will get is that you'll be trashed on social media by a very small vocal minority.
I don't even want to share it. I want to be it. I want
That's
to.
perfect. That's fair. As long as you don't start talking, if you
No,
start
I
talking
never
about it,
will. No, I
now,
think I'm smart
Claire,
enough not to do
Claire,
that.
I should take your advice. That's very sensible advice. Yeah, it's not necessary to talk about it and write
No,
about it and
I
speak.
just want to
So
be it.
you just want to be it, and if you are it, if you be it, if you are it knowingly, you will find that you communicate it wordlessly through your peace and quiet joy to everyone around you. But nobody can argue with peace and joy. They can argue with non-dual theory, but they can't
Mm.
argue with peace and joy. So I should take your advice, Claire, and stop saying so much about these things and just be it. Except I can't help
No, I
myself.
never crossed that line, Hector, Rupert. I never crossed that line because I know that that's unfair to people anyway. But it's all I want is to
All
know
you want is
that
to know.
without,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I want is to
Claire,
know it with
don't
myself.
worry. You're not going to be burnt at the stake again for saying so. You don't have
Or
to
not
speak
for
it,
saying so, even for feeling it,
for feeling so.
for
Don't worry.
being that.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
So,
You
so
just take the leap. Be it, feel it, know it, live as that.
I'm going to do it.
May I share?
I
Thank you.
May I share something, please?
please do. Yes.
Oh,
Is it? Is it Robert? Yes. Hi,
yes,
Robert.
sir. And I love your patience, and I admire it because the more patience I have, the more joy and love and peace emanates from me. But to me, that's beingness. I mean, we speak a different language. I'm learning your definitions, so I appreciate your patience towards me. But I learned a long time ago. I shared with a guy you may have heard of him, Francisco Cole, founder of the Inner Peace Movement, which had conference centers all around the world. He's passed on now. But anyway, one time I was just one-on-one with him, and I heard one time that enjoying being yourself is important. He said,
So say that again, Robert. Say that again.
he said, I said, I read a book about enjoying being yourself, how important it. He said, yeah. He said, if you relax and enjoy being your true self, which is love, joy, peace, all that, everything falls into place. And to me, that was just another way of talking about beingness, my
Yes.
truth. And he talks about true feelings. And he
Yes.
had a separation between feeling and emotion. Emotion is our anger and our fears and I'm not going to get what I need. And feelings is like the child in the at church walking around. She's a toddler and she's just happier than poop, just smiling. That true feelings. And so, and my, I believe that we have spiritual helpers. Can't prove it, but I get insights, clairaudient insights. Some people don't get clairaudient; they just get a clear picture or a feeling. Aha, and I get goosebumps when they come close to me. Some people just get an aha, but I'll get an insight about something, and I've been told repeatedly by what I call my spiritual helpers or angels, be cheerful no matter what. Don't let circumstances control how I feel. And that has been worth $1 million to me. And so anyway, when I'm facing a challenge, and they never get bossy, angels, spiritual helpers, I've shared with a lot of people and all, they never get bossy. But I just love that, and it helps me have peace. And when I'm facing a challenge, if I just relax and say, hey, yeah, man, and I smile and I get cheerful, the fear melts.
Lovely to meet you both.
Thank you for letting me
Thank you.
share.
Thank you both.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.